So here we are at good old Half Price Books. Wonder if they still have all those $1 Dan Fogelberg records. Okay, they have some interesting stuff. Get some 70s records. I don't know if Carl Dobson's 2 years. Or Benedict Carroll, maybe they're secret rockabilly people. Some mystery Greek record. And whoever Charlie Gracie is. And whoever Edgel Grove is. And she's about over. Oh, there's the most scary looking, most librarianish. And this dude here, you're going to take 17 shots of vodka with him, and he's not going to take no for an answer. So the 45s at Half Price Books were half price, so they're 50 cents each. So we have this English indie rock post-punk band, according to Discogs, from 2006 called the Long Blondes. Don't know anything about them. Figured it was worth a blind buy. She's About a Mover, Sir Douglas Quintet. This is pretty clean. Carl Dobkins Jr., supposedly a rockabilly-like singer, according to Discogs, so I'll take a flyer on that. And we got a picture sleeve of Howard Jones, a nice microcosm of my taste in music here. Vet City Antique Mall. There's also the National Corvette Museum. Maybe I'll stop by and shoot the outside of it. I've been here before. I'm not really expecting anything, but I was like a mile away, so I figured I should go in. Picture's mildly cool. I saw these records before because this is where I got like the modern English, but I don't think that these singles were here before. But I think it's you have to buy it all for $131. I'll pull out the interesting records, but it's hugely doubtful I would do that. Oh yeah, no way. These are square dance records. I definitely don't want square dance records. That would be foolish behavior on my part. Real Train Sounds on a 10-inch for $5. Unbreakable Child's record. Alright, here's some 45s I haven't seen before. Some like 80s picture sleeves, but they're $5 each. Oh, even the unsleeve stuff is $5 each. Let me show you some picture sleeves. But it's doubtful. $5, and I have to find something unusual in here. Do you think I'm sexy? Yeah. Put that one inside. Oh, wait, Orbison, I guess they think they're all $5 each, no matter what it is. Twisted Sister. The Malignment. This looks like some unknown punk from Knoxville. This is the sort of stuff I'm looking for in a booth like this. Because this might actually be something I'd pay $5 for. We'll set it aside. Yeah, relax, don't do it. Jim Croce, DeBarge, Deep Purple, Thompson Twins, Loverboy. I mean, I like 80s picture sleeves, but I like to find them a bit cheaper. Deep Purple from the 80s, Hugh Lewis. And then the unsleeved ones I'll go through very quickly and pull out anything that's interesting. It's not valuable, but this Malignment, CI8 Plague record, so it's horror punk from Knoxville, 1996. I'll pop on that one. leave the $15 Barbra Streisand for you. It's, at first I thought these were new to me, but they're not. Because I recognize definitely the Johnny Rodriguez. And these are all overpriced, so that's why nobody buys them. Oh my god. I was just flipping through this box randomly. His common as shit Prince in a picture sleeve. $30. I find this all the fucking time. That's almost worth it just for that decadent cover. Coke. Yeah, a lot of records in the 70s were made on Coke. And then we find Blondie Auto American for $5. I know there's got to be a catch. Here's a rare Doors record with Beat Up After the Fire inside. You Can Still Rock in America with Sister Christian and Night Ranger. And inside you get The Genius of Jimi Hendrix in unplayable condition. What a bargain at $10. So what's going to be the catch on Blondie? It's the right record, but it's still too beat up to buy. The F.A. Book of Boys. I think this is from like the 1950s. So soccer players, football players weren't wusses back then. No substitutes, no cards, play with a broken neck, play with a broken leg. For you kitty collectors, these are like book and record. And the Village People. Frosty the Snowman, Mother Goose, Puff and Toot, Puff the Magic Dragon, Bugs Bunny. Say $135 for it. I don't know how valuable these are, and I don't collect these sorts of records. The Malignmen, so that's the booth, all the 45s were $5, whether it was in a sleeve, not in a sleeve. Everything there was major label hits except this record. This was like the only one that wasn't. Now I looked it up on Discogs and it's like a $3 to $5 record, but I figured $5, red vinyl, horror punk from Tennessee. Sure. And so it's raining, I don't really care. So that's about as much of the National Corvette Museum as we're going to see. Okay, so we're going to be going to a proper record store, Mellow Matt's Music and More. There's Mexican food in the same little tiny little strip mall here. I think they've got a bunch of 45s to dig through here. Okay, I did almost no filming in the store. We've got lots of people. I'm filming this right before Christmas, so lots of people are coming in and asking all kinds of weird questions and buying used Crosleys and stuff like that. But I bought 28 of these random 25-cent each singles. I'll go through them later. There's a double 12-inch single as well that I didn't get for 25 cents. And yeah, you'll see those later. All right, here's the Mellow Matt's haul. So it was mostly me going through. This guy's got boxes and boxes and boxes of unsorted 45s that are 25 cents each. He also has a section of sorted 45s where they're all alphabetized and the price is as marked. And some of them are expensive. But he's got a bunch of stuff that he obviously has never gone through. And obviously this was not from there. This is Blondie. This was a 1994 double 12-inch, which is remixes of Rapture, which is like my favorite song. And it does have the original single version as the last one, along with all sorts of house and electronic dance mixes on it. And we've got all kinds of 45s. First one, just showing you one more time, this was from the Antique Mall. So we have the Malignmen. So this is mid-90s hardcore punk from Knoxville, Tennessee. Haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. On Plague Records. In the booth where everything was $5, no matter how common it was. And then let's just go through. This is going to be basically no rhyme or reason, but that's the way they're arranged. That's how I chose what to buy and what not to buy. So, of course, Animal House in a picture sleeve I had to get. So this is Stephen Bishop with the Animal House song. And so we got that. Then the next thing we got was the 1983 Steelers fight song by Jimmy Pole. And apparently that stands for polka, because I looked it up. Apparently it's a polka record. I didn't look up anything in the store. I was going through boxes as quickly as I could. And since they were 25 cents each, I wasn't too worried about looking stuff up. I was willing to blind buy. We've got this Wheeler Recording Company. A lot of the stuff seems to be from like Eastern Ohio and the Pittsburgh area. I don't know. We got Jerry's Records leftovers or something. I don't know. But Deadly Earnest and with some songs here. And again, most of this stuff I haven't heard yet. I found another Greg King band, Jeopardy, on Berserkly in a Berserkly Company sleeve. So I popped for that. We got Johnny and the Hurricanes with Reveille Rock on Warwick from about 1959 or so. This looked weird enough. It's marked $3, but I paid 25 cents. So this is Dory Previn promo from her new album, Mythical Kings and Iguanas. And so she had been married to Andre Previn. This was before he married Mia Farrow. Apparently she did folk music. Looks like it's going to be super pretentious. The Firm Radioactive, I definitely have listened to that before. So that's like Paul Rogers and Jimmy Page from like 1985. Nice clean version of that. Samson was going, maybe this is the English New Wabam band, even though it doesn't look like it would be like a metal record, and it's not. And so this is like some guy named Paul Sampson, who was sort of a rock guy from the early 1970s. I think he did something with Sammy Hagar at some point. Bell Records, James and Bobby Purify, Shake a Tail Feather. It's a nice clean soul record from 1967. Then again with sort of our Pittsburgh vibe, we've got Steel Mill Blues, sort of a song Mike Pickering wrote about the declining steel industry there. And then there was something by Les Cooper and the Soul Rockers, and I figured if your band is called the Soul Rockers, I should buy it. Wiggle Wobble, I think this is sort of like early 60s R&B-ish sort of stuff. The Rainbow Song on Wisdom Records by Dan Elliott. It's supposed to be kind of a ballad, so that might not be that great. Larry and Linda with the Most Peculiar Girl, 1969 country. They're a Canadian duo. They're on the Nugget label in America. I love that label. Then 80s picture sleeve, Frozen Ghost with Pauper in Paradise. This was a Atlantic promo from I think about 1988 or so. Yeah. This looked intriguing. Gone All-Stars on Gone Records with 7-Eleven and Down Yonder Rock. So that's from like 1957. Lou Christie presents Sweet Breeze, Summer in Malibu. So this is like some disco that Lou Christie produced back in 1978. And this looks like something cheesy from the 80s. New City Rockers, Rev It Up. Look at all those guitars on sort of a Critique label, part of Atco. I think they were a one and done rock band. I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm guessing it's probably like AOR, a few years too late. Mihoacan by Atwood, The Electric Iceman in Beautiful Shape on Uni Records. And I learned that I think these guys are mostly from the Sir Douglas Quintet, so that's coming back around. So that I'm hoping that this is going to be pretty cool. Decca, John Wakely. So this is like the same era as that Jive 5 I have that's valuable, but this is just some some standard country from 1969. Heliodor, Uh-Oh, Parts 1 and Part 2 by the Nutty Squirrels. Apparently this is like a 1959 novelty record from Germany. So we got Gabby Young with Red Hot Women and Ice Cold Beer on Roundup. Another song called Gabby on the Other Side. It's unknown and likely terrible country music in Sweet Shape. And then this one I actually listened to a little bit of it on YouTube, and it's absolutely awful. Ava Barber, From the Bible Belt to the Garter Belt, from like 1988. And apparently she had been in like Lawrence Welk in like the 70s and stuff. And it's awful. This is the thing I almost didn't buy. I think it's the most valuable record that I got from the 25-cent pile, and I feel dirty having it. So this is Private Press, Herb Howell Records. Herb Howell's from Augusta, Georgia, so sort of late 60s country. He had a song called Nashville Bound that I saw on YouTube. It's not the one I picked up. You can see this song is called George Wallace, which made me feel a little bit queasy. And yes, it's basically a campaign song for desegregationist politician George Wallace. So I feel kind of dirty about buying this. It's never been sold. Somebody's asking $75 on Discogs and somebody's asking $50 on eBay. But I don't know if it's something I want to sell or it's something I even want to have.
Okay, so this is Editor Chris, and so I dug up some more information about Herb Howell here. So apparently he'd been in part of a documentary made by David Hoffman back in 1969 about Nashville's country music scene. It was called The Nashville Sound. And so Herbie Howell was this unknown. He had driven up from Augusta, Georgia, and in the documentary he gets an audition with Shelby Singleton, but apparently nothing ever came of it. So the poor guy thought he had a record deal for a day, but his 1 in a million chance didn't come through. In the documentary, he comes off as a pretty sweet, naive country boy, and I get a little bit more of a positive vibe about him than just from listening to the George Wallace song. So at the end of the documentary, his other single, the record I don't have by him, he sings this song called Nashville Bound, basically a story about him coming from Augusta to Nashville, which definitely is a better song.
Shortening with a song called Disco Butter. So yeah, that's disco. Sinead O'Connor, The Emperor's New Clothes. We know and we like Sinead O'Connor. Then I'm filming this around Christmas. I don't know when I'm going to get around to posting it, but we got the Christmas song and The Little Boy That Santa Claus Forgot. This originally came out, I think, in like 1957. This is a 60s reissue, and it's a very clean on the Capital Swirl label. And then finally, I'd gotten a Carl Dopkins Jr. at the Half Price Books the day before, and I'd found out that this was actually his hit song, My Heart is an Open Book. So I found the American Decca version of it, and I found, in even better shape, the English Brunswick version. So it had the 4-prong thing that had been punched out at some point.